Hi everyone, my name is Mrs. Cole. You can call me Barbara if you'd like. Today I'd like to speak on something very peculiar, okay? And so these are certain things that our men are facing, or some of our brothers are facing. Not all of them, because there are some men that have been able to go through the self-control process of life, and now they're able to hold themselves and prevent themselves from falling into certain traps. And so kudos to those guys. But some of us, our brothers, are still struggling, and so we'd like to help them. Or let me say, this particular topic I'd like to talk about is just to enlighten them, or to make them realize something is actually going on. Okay, and so it's just going to put you in a place of reflection. And if you really are struggling with something like this, and you really want to come out of it, let this be a video that will just make you sit by yourself and think twice about whatever you're doing. So I jotted down some thoughts or my observations, and at the end of the readout I'm going to give you my conclusions and my advice. Okay, I jotted them down here. I typed it out because I didn't want to leave anything out. So if you see me looking down here, I'm just reading off from my phone. Okay, all right, so let's start. So let me start off by saying that we are human beings. We were given eyes to see, to admire God's creation. You and I are God's creation. So when a man sees a woman, he's definitely going to admire her. If a woman sees a man, she's definitely going to admire the person based on whatever feature that the person admires. But that admiration should have a limit. Okay, so when you go beyond the admiration, that's where you find yourself, you know what I'm talking about. So I don't want to go ahead of myself, so I'm going to read this. So that's just the excerpt. Okay, so once we connect with people that we admire, sometimes you see people walking around and you just say, hey, hi, I want to be your friend, I think you're beautiful, I think you're handsome, or I just admire this about you, I want to be your friend. Let's start from there. So once the connection is established due to some physical features or whatever feature that you saw, once you cross that line and there's lack of control, these people do not only remain as admirers, okay, which should have led to one advantage relationship that would impact both of you in a good way, but most of the time it leads or moves forward to being a flirtatious relationship where both parties begin to explore each other's sexual capabilities. You understand what I'm saying? So you just see somebody on the road, you admire the person, you take the person's number, and then instead of you being friends and getting to know each other, what do? Just try to exchange some kind of information and just know each other and have a very good relationship from there. Most of us are not able to control ourselves after connecting with them. So that's where you see people now begin to flirt with each other. Okay. It begins with sending your best pictures. It's sometimes the men will be like, oh, send me a picture. The ladies like, send me a picture. But I'm talking about our men today. So you're saying the men begin to ask the women for pictures, send me your pictures. Then the women too are quick to go, scroll through their gallery and looking for the picture where their bump is showing or some cleavage is showing, or they have this cute look, or they have series of pictures, but they will look for that one that is captivating, that one that put them at the best view of the guy, and then they send that picture. Then after that, demands for sexual pictures begin, leading to sexual conversations, and if possible meeting up with each other when you are in your mess, and then by the time you realize you mess up each other's life. Okay, so we're talking about people who are not able to, first of all, create boundaries around them. They connect with people, they start off a flirtatious relationship, they begin to send pictures upon pictures, now become sexual pictures, and then leading to sexual conversations, and by the time you realize, oh, let's meet up, and then things begin to happen. Now this is where I'm about to talk to my brothers. Okay, if you review these connections as an individual, you realize that there is no actual benefit to this relationship aside sexual sin, which in your opinion is a benefit to you because it's a desire that's inside of you. Undoubtedly, knowing that this thing is actually killing you. Okay, so now this relationship that has become a sexual relationship, an unhealthy one, you know very well that this thing is not going to benefit you in a good way, but it's because of your desires. That's the reason why you are still there, or you're doing whatever you're doing. but within you there's this little voice that keeps on telling you that this thing is not right for you. But of course, we always move with our desires as men most of the time. Let me say most people, most men. Okay, now this connection has two empty things that make up this kind of relationship. Okay, or let me say there are two empty things that make up these kinds of relationships. The very first one is sexual exploitations. The second one is exploitation of resources. I'm using the word exploitation because they are acts that make you treat one another unfairly in order to benefit from their actions. Now, these are the actions or the kind of exploitations I'm talking about. I'm just going to expatiate on these exploitations. That's the sexual exploitation and the resource exploitation. So after you connect with people, with these people, your sexual connection starts. You realize that when you critically look at this connection or this relationship, there are two things that are seen. That is the sexual exploitation and then the resource exploitation. Now I'll tackle the sexual exploitation. The sexual activity is, as I mentioned here, includes ladies sending naked pictures of themselves to the men or nude pictures, and men also appreciating them with their sexual comments. From this point, women begin to demand an act of service from their beneficiaries. Why? Because they are serving you with their bodies. They begin to take advantage of your satisfaction and make you their support system. So if I'm sending you my nudes as a woman, I'm sending my sexual pictures, you as a man, you are benefiting from it because you're satisfying your sexual desires at that point. And so me as a lady, I'm also going to look for a way to gain satisfaction. Okay, so I'm going to turn you, the man, as my support system, because women, if you look at us, what we actually need are things around us. We need to do our hair, we need to buy clothes, we need to look good, you need to all those things that are aside perfection. I mean, aside the cuddling and all of that, these are things that women are also looking for, okay, out there. So she is serving you with her body, you are getting your satisfaction, and don't forget that it's not for free. You're definitely going to be turned as her support system. In Ghana, we call them Mr. Otia. If you don't understand, the man who pays. Okay, so you become a person they can toy around just to get things done, especially financially, transportation wise, and other favors. So you see women asking men for money, or if the man has a car, oh, can you take me here? Oh, can you take me there? Oh, can you take me here? Can you take other kind of favors? They diversify based on the woman's needs. Okay, so after the sexual activity comes, it's the next thing that follows is, can you help me? As I mentioned, then the woman begins to sing this particular song. I need this, I need that. Check this kind of relationship. The reason being that when a lady sends you her news, it's a high value thing that she's done. Okay, it's a high value activity because our bodies are valued very much. So the fact that she's sending those doesn't mean that she doesn't value her body. She's actually giving you that at a price. Okay, so when a lady sends you her news, is of high value to her. So men thinking sleeping with her is like you are giving her a paycheck. That is like a prostitute. Most of the time, men go to them and they think that, oh, you offer your body to me, I give you sex and I pay you back, and you are gone. But forget that that's prostitution, because that one, the woman gets her money and she's gone, and she's going to use to buy whatever she wants to buy with. She wants to do her hair, she wants to look good and all that, she's gone. But this is not somebody that you're classifying as a prostitute. This is like let me say, a friends with benefit. So this person is just going to get your money and then just walk out of your life and never come back again. You never see the person again. This person is actually somebody that has become like a friend. So that's what we call the friends with benefit. Okay, so now you just giving her. Men think that, oh, you are showing me your body and all of that, and then when they see you and they have sex with you, there's like a payback. They've given you a check, that is sleeping with you. For such kind of friendships, it doesn't exist like that. The payback is not sleeping with her. Sleeping with her is still she serving you. Okay, you sleeping with that lady is still she serving you. She hasn't gotten her reward yet. She hasn't gotten her payback check yet. So aside enjoying those nudes, you having sex with her also benefits you. Why? Because she just first of all gave you an image of herself to prepare you for the sex that you are looking for. So in this case, you have benefited from her twice. The first one is the sexual image she gave to you last week, the whole week that you were looking and scrolling at those pictures and admiring them and zooming in and zooming out, wearing your glasses, going to change your lens, and admiring all those things and doing all those nasty stuff you are doing in your room. Aside that, you meeting her in person and she giving you the sex, is still she benefiting you. So the first thing was just to prepare you for today. Okay, so you have actually benefited twice. The nudity, the images were sent to you, and you actually having the activity. Okay, so don't forget, men, you have two benefits here. So you as the man have two benefits from her. That is why she has to look for how she can benefit from you. If her benefit was having sex with you, she would not have asked you. She would ask you for nothing after sleeping with her. Okay, if the sex was to benefit the women, a prostitute would not ask you to pay her after sleeping with her. That lady will not ask you to pay her or to give her some money after sleeping with her. So that actually should even tell you that that is not how you're going to pay a woman. And the woman offers you her body, she's giving you something. So she's still serving you. That is not how women get rewarded, or those kind of women get rewarded. Unless, I'm not talking about your wife here. Your wife, people are benefiting each other, but I'm talking about those kind of relationships, Okay. So let me read that again. If her benefit was having sex with you, she would not have to ask you. She wouldn't ask you for anything else after sleeping with her. And that is why she is now looking for a way to dig into your resources. Okay, so they come with little expenses or little favors, and then with time the favors begin to grow.